Hello everyone and welcome back once again to DCS and welcome back to the F-18C Hornet module. Today we're going to be taking a look at the deployment and radar management associated with using the AGM-84 Delta. It's literally on the side of the missile, Harpoon. It's a anti-ship air-to-sea style missile. We're going to be taking a look at what it takes to get one of these off of the rails and successfully at least tracking towards your target. So let's go into the F-10 map here. This is a simple mission I created. We are obviously right here, just about to pass overhead Anderson. And we have a array of different ships here. So the first ship we have is this little teeny tiny speedboat. There's actually 4 of them. We have our actual target, which is a Chinese tanker, not tanker, but a resupply ship. And then we have this guy here, which is the Baltic Wind. It's just a normal cargo ship. We don't want to blow this up. So, looking at our F-10, I can tell you, because I created the mission, that these 4 boats here are all going to be going north-ish, well, I guess like a northwest towards Rota International, and then our 2 larger ships here are going to be traveling direct towards Anderson. I also have set these boats to cruise at, I think it's 57 knots, their maximum cruising speed this direction. Our target ship will be cruising towards Anderson at 24 knots, and then our cargo ship will be cruising towards Anderson at 14 knots. This will come into play later. So just to reiterate, these 4, 57 in this direction, this guy 24 in this direction, and this guy 14 knots in that same direction. Let's go ahead and unpause. So I'm going to go ahead and straight away put the aircraft in air to ground mode. I'm going to go ahead and bank out to the left just a little bit, set our radar to C mode, and we'll do an 80 knot scan. You can see we've got some returns already. And I'll show you what I was talking about with the radar. Let's go ahead and select our right DDI. So if I go and lock these targets, which is actually the same button that you would use to bind, or I'm sorry, to select the right DDI as your SOI screen. It's not your normal TDC radar lock key. That just drops a point on the map for your targeting pod to slew to, or where you intend on dropping your weapons. So you can see on my radar, let me pause here, I have my return. You can only lock a single target at a time in this mode. A radar return. He's going bearing 325 degrees at 57 knots. And he's about 040, maybe 041 off of our nose. Let's go and unpause, and we'll undesignate. Undesignate again, and we'll go ahead and select this guy. So he's approaching 14 knots now. Now let me just make sure that they're not taking their time getting up to speed, which they are. So this is our target boat. He's just taking time getting up to speed. We obviously just started the mission. Undesignate. And finally, this guy here. 212 at 13. Undesignate once more. So let's lock up the ship that we know is hostile. And he's increasing now through 17 knots, 18 knots. Come to our left DDI. Let's go ahead and select our Harpoon missiles. And I'm going to select R/BL mode. I want our flight profile to be low in this case. Our terminal impact to be skim instead of pop-up, and I'm going to set our seeker size to small, and we'll pause there, and we will review what what I just said means. So mode R/BL, so R/BL is going to be using our radar to aid in ranging and all of that stuff for the Harpoons. It's the easiest way I found to launch Harpoons. The other mode, you would go ahead and set a bearing for the missile to cruise at, and we're going to do that as well, but you would set that bearing and the missile would kind of just fly off in that direction until its detection distance, turn on its radar, and then fly towards whatever the nearest target is, until it either hits something or blows up at its detonation range. So we're going to be using R/BL. Our flight profile, there's high, medium, and low. Those are just different altitudes. This is an air-breathing missile. The higher altitude that you're able to launch it at, the faster the missile will be, but the higher chance it has of being detected and shot down. So if you're okay with a lower speed missile, lower speed missile, launch it low. Our terminal impact, again, I've selected skim. That basically means it's going to skim over the top of the water and impact the side of the ship. The other option is to pop the missile up into the air and go back down. Problem with that potentially is the fact that the missile will sometimes lose its radar lock once it's popping up to track back down, and you could potentially hit the cargo vessel behind us. And seek is the size of the target that you're firing at, similar to the radar cross section when you're firing air-to-air missiles. So they're small, medium, and large. Why did I select small? You might be saying this doesn't look like a very small ship to me. Well, it's not a very small ship, but in the terms of the Harpoon's ability, its seeker head radar, this would probably fall somewhere in between the small and medium-sized ships, so I've selected small. Large is going to be, think of like your Admiral Khrushchev aircraft carriers, the Nimitz carriers, the Stennis or the Abraham Lincoln, whatever. And then small is going to be, like a destroyer of some sort, maybe, like a Arleigh Burke, something like that. So just to kind of adjust your thoughts on what is a small, medium, and large target when dealing with the Harpoons. So I'm going to go ahead and unpause. And then we're going to go ahead and we should be good here. Let me see here. So I've got low, skim, small. Cool. So over to the UFC. Now we have search, destruct or destroy, and bearing. What do these three mean? So obviously we've selected UFC, so we're going to be using our UFC keypad here to enter this information. Search is the distance from your selected target at which the Harpoon, I keep wanting to say harm, at which distance the Harpoon is going to actually turn on its search radar and start looking for a target. Destruct is the distance at which it will self-destruct. Obviously, you don't want this just flying on for as long as its fuel will allow. It'll probably find something else to kill, and we don't want that. And then bearing is the bearing off of the nose of your airplane. So in this case, maybe about 045. So what I'm going to do, we'll unpause. So search, I want 5 miles. Oh. Search, I want 5 miles. Self-destruct, let's say 50 miles, and then for a bearing, let's say 045. Enter. And that's it. We're ready to launch. Missile away. We're going to do the same thing for our next missile. Search radius of 5, self-destruct to 50, bearing of 045. Enter. Fire. Same thing. 5, 50. 0. We'll do 044. Enter. Fire. And final missile. Search. Search 5. 50. And we are very, very close here. You normally have this set up beforehand, but for entertainment's sake, we'll deal with it. So we've got our 4 missiles off of the rails. We're going to go ahead and do their selected flight profiles. Now, the target ship that we have here doesn't have any missiles or anything like that. It does have one Sea-Whiz on the front, or Sea-Ram, I'm not sure. Some high-velocity cannon that we don't want to get shot by, but other than that, it's pretty toothless. So I'm actually going to go ahead and level out here. About 15 miles to the target. Turn on our autopilot. So you can see we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4 missiles off the rails, flying basically parallel with us. Should be able to see us up there somewhere. Maybe not. And you can see just in the distance there is our target ship. One missile flying ahead of it. 11 miles to the target. You actually might just be able to make him out down there. Yep, there he is. Let's go ahead and turn off our autopilot. And we'll crank out left, rather, just a little bit. 8.4 to target. There he is. I lost visual. There he is down there. Let's go watch the missiles in first person. Looks like the Siwa's got one of them. Blew it up prematurely. Nope, impacts. 19% damage. That's 2 hits, 3 hits. Maybe 4. I definitely saw a puff of smoke, so I think one of our missiles got splashed. Nope, 31%. So he just got hit again. Fantastic. So that's 4 missiles on target. In this case, we didn't do enough damage to score a kill, but hey, we'll take what we can, right? So that's just a quick tutorial on the Harpoons. Very simple weapon to employ once you know what's going on with it and what's beyond your target. In this case, we were able to successfully deploy all 4 of our missiles onto our target down there. Our little cargo ship behind it is still fully intact. And that's going to do it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. And as always, take it easy.